My name is Thomas Scott, Managing Director of Kimpton Kawana Bay. It's an honor to be here today presenting to you all, and thank you to IREX for hosting us today. So Kimpton Kawana Bay, I'm going to talk you through a presentation about our program, the Grenada CBI program, and our specific development. Start off with a video.
Kimpton Kawana Bay is a 5-star luxury resort in Grenada, which is located at the southern end of the Caribbean chain of islands. The island has an idyllic climate with year-round cool ocean breezes and a mean temperature of 29 degrees Celsius. Grenada boasts a strong export and tourism economy and is home to St. George's University, one of the world's largest American accredited medical schools. With daily direct flights from a number of major cities, travel is convenient and stress-free. Grenada is a safe, unspoiled tourism destination which offers beautiful forest scenery and pristine beaches. Its population is also friendly and welcoming. Kimpton Kawana Bay is ideally located on Grand Anse Beach, voted by Condé Nast Traveler as one of the world's best beaches. Kimpton Kawana Bay is currently the only CBI project in Grenada offering title-deeded real estate at the approved price of $220,000. Suites and studios are for sale through the Grenada Citizenship by Investment program. Purchasing at Kimpton Kawana Bay provides hassle-free ownership with no annual out-of-pocket fees. Planned to open in 2020, the resort will be operated by Kimpton Hotels and Restaurants, which is part of the Intercontinental Hotels group of companies. Citizenship by investment in Grenada is a fast, efficient and straightforward process, taking as little as 120 to 150 days to process. Grenadian citizenship provides many benefits, including visa-free travel to over 140 countries, and significant reduction of tuition fees for Grenadian citizens who reside in the country for undergraduate degrees at St. George's University. Grenada has a source-based income tax system that does not tax worldwide income, nor do you pay any wealth, gift, inheritance, or capital gains tax. There is no interview, education, language test, or management experience required, and dual citizenship is permitted. Grenada is an E2 visa treaty country with the USA, meaning approved E2 visa applicants are eligible to start a business and live in the USA with their family. Processing time for the E2 visa is usually 2 months. Citizenship by investment at Kimpton Kawana Bay is fast, financially sound, and provides global access opportunities that other CBI programs around the world simply cannot rival.
So that in Kawana Bay, I realize I've just got a few minutes to elaborate on some of the points, and we do have a sponsorship booth next door, and we'll be there for the next few days, so all questions are welcome. But in general, when we initiated this program and this venture, we looked at all the citizenship by investment programs across the world, and specifically in the Caribbean, and some of our non-negotiables when we put ourselves in the shoes of the investors were that we wanted to have a 5-star luxury resort. It's what Grenada needed. So there was a big demand. There is a big demand for that. We wanted to be aligned with a global brand, and we, after various interviews, chose Intercontinental Groups and their brand Kimpton Hotel and Restaurants. We definitely wanted it to be individual title deed ownership for our investors. We wanted it to be fully compliant with the Grenada CBI program at the minimum threshold of $220,000, which used to be $350. Last April got reduced to $220, which makes it very compelling versus the other route of citizenship, which by investment, which is the donation or the contribution. We also wanted to make sure that we had a very transparent rental management program of a percentage of revenue, which allowed for all investors to be very sure about their investment from the word go. Not to dwell but too long, but I think we know where Grenada is situated now. It's south of the hurricane belt, fantastic climate, 29 degrees average year-round, English-speaking. Main drivers of the economy are education, as we saw the fantastic St. George's University. Many investors are compelled and driven by the benefits of St. George's University, which is a major driver of the economy, but tourism and agriculture as well. There's exceptionally good airlift for a country which is relatively small. Direct flights from the USA, the UK, Germany. American Airlines have just announced new flights from North Carolina. Canada also has flights. So, and that speaks largely to the huge increase in tourism, which Grenada is benefiting. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to include the statistics from 2019, which are just being verified and ratified at the moment. But as you can see here, that the main takeaway is that since 2010, the stayover visitors, the visitors that are actually spending a night, it's actually gone up by 64%, which really, for peace of mind for investors and why we're doing the project, is that there is a huge need for additional hotel rooms in Grenada. There's actually only 1,000 hotel rooms on the island at the moment, and about 450 of those are 4 or 5 star. And Intercontinental and Kimpton are particularly excited about us finishing this project due to the demand that they foresee for stayover guests and people staying at the hotel. But tourism is really on the up. Just to surmise the program itself, it's very fast, efficient, and straightforward process. Conservative, we say 120 to 150 days there. Our last 17 approvals have actually come through all under 97 days. It's visa-free travel to 143 countries now. Of particularly important significance there are the UK, the Schengen states, has visa-free travel to Russia and China, which is quite rare. A number of our clients and investors from different parts of the world invest primarily just for the quality of the passport and mobility, not specifically the E2. There's no interview, education, language test, or management experience required. And the secondary, there is an exit essentially after 5 years because it's deemed real estate, so you can exit and get back your $220,000. The E2 treaty, which we know about, it's incredibly safe. Grenada, I encourage you to visit. We'll always make you very welcome. We'll give you you and your clients a fantastic visit and experience there, but it's so safe. The passport has huge integrity. Due diligence is fairly thorough. It is very thorough, and they take pride in the integrity of the passport. It's a source-based income tax, and there are generous government incentives, especially for the families. This is just a letter of sort of approval and congratulation from the government. Kawana Bay, in terms of being approved for the $220,000 minimum investment, it's the only title deeded real estate project in the country which has been approved. We've been building, and we initiated this project and started construction in 2017. I could say we are 70% sold, and to date 315 passports have been issued in the hands of our investors. So it's very, very real, very live, and is a huge contributor to the Grenadian GDP. And last year we actually accounted for 49% of all submissions and approvals of the CBI program in Grenada. Just a diagram there just to really show you one of the standout components of the Grenada CBI program is the inclusiveness of the family versus some of the other Caribbean and citizenship by investment programs. But from children under the age of 30, from parents and grandparents that are dependent, as well as siblings, unmarried siblings without children, they can all be included on one application. We actually have one Vietnamese family applying at the moment under one individual investment of $220,000, and they're applying with 22 family members under the one application. So it is a key feature of the program. Just to touch slightly on the E2 visa, it's very much an investor and a business visa. It's a two-step process. Once you become Grenadian, you can then apply, take advantage of the E2 treaty and apply there. So it's a business visa. It's different to the green card in that regard. It's a 5-year visa treaty, renewable indefinitely. You apply at the US consulate, which may be in your home country, Guangzhou, or in Barbados, or there's a consulate in Dubai. Children of the E2 applicant are entitled to in-state education up until the age of 21. It's a very, very exciting and interesting visa. The US attorneys that we can introduce you to are always full of praise of the E2. I think there's 40,000 issued alone last year, and Grenada's with a 5-year duration, renewable indefinitely, really is a very compelling and exciting program, and it can happen very fast. It can really happen within 2 months after obtaining your Grenadian citizenship. You can have your E2 visa in hand if you've done all the documentation and approvals, etc. Then so you could be living in the US within 8 months, which is quite remarkable. Just some examples of E2 visas that have been issued. The one on the left is actually an Indian national who became Grenadian, and they applied in Bridgetown, which is in Barbados. There's an example of a Chinese investor on the right who applied in Guangzhou, and both valid for 5 years. And as far as we're aware, and 100% of our investors who've gone on to apply for E2, which is not all of them, it's not the primary goal, or it's not an objective for all of our investors, but they've got a 100% success rate on the E2 visa application so far. Just a short timeline, and there's a lot of talk about EB5, but just a timeline in terms of comparison there, that you could really have your Grenadian citizenship E2 within 7 to 9, we're saying 9 months there versus EB5, 6 to 8 years, perhaps even longer. So just to now move on to the resort and the development specifically. I think in terms of real estate, we always talk about location, location, location. And if you come to Grenada, you'll quickly discover from talking to the locals or seeing for yourself that Kawana Bay really is in the prime location on the island. Grandance Beach, voted one of the top 20 beaches in the world, and we're on the southern tip of it. Absolutely fantastic location, breathtaking, and looking down over the beach. We're just 10 minutes drive from the international airport, 10 minutes drive from St. George's University, and then 10 minutes drive from the city of St. George's itself, which is the capital. The development itself is comprised of five buildings, 5 condominiums, and then obviously Matura is if you want, the main block of the front, which has a swimming pool and the cabanas and goes down to the beachfront there. Just to put that into perspective, I'll just run a short construction video update. One of the great, this is the Matura block at the front that I'm talking about. That's the cabana. See there's the swimming pool at the front. It's had its concrete slabbed and laid in it. It's going to be a rim flow drop down to the ocean there. The reception and concierge is actually going to be on the 5th floor. There's a very dramatic entrance point there, or the front of Matura. You can see the 2 buildings in the back. That's Juara and Culebra. They've been practically completed. All the owners there have got their title deeds in their hands. They are, I think actually all of them have got their passports as well. So they are Grenadian citizens. It really is, guys, it's a live project. It's really happening, with 70% sold, 315 passports in hand, and fully funded by citizenship by investment money at the moment. Just a few more images around the construction, because I think it's in a market like this and globally, it just gives everyone such peace of mind that it's not completely off plan and it is happening. But these photos were just taken about 10 days ago. That's looking back down on the famous Grandance Beach. You know, one of the key drivers about the sort of CBI program for Grenada is actually the job creation, and we have at any given time about 85 local Grenadians on site. Obviously going to be a big job creator once the hotel actually opens. But it's very busy on site at the moment. This is what the model room looks like. Recently just redone on its interiors. This is a render of the fifth floor of the mature block. This is what it's going to look like in the lobby. This is going to be handed over to Kimpton, so it will look like that by September this year. Part of the Kimpton brand is its restaurants as well. It's very keen to have non-hotel guests stay at its restaurants. If you've been to their hotels in London or Moscow or Bangkok or Paris, then you'll see that they have fantastic restaurants. This is the Prime Minister. He doesn't often come to a construction site, but he was there. He was on site in September. Just very quickly about Intercontinental Group. It's got 6,000 hotels. It's got close to 2,000 hotels in the pipeline at the moment, but Kimpton is one of its newest brands that was acquired 2 years ago. There's 67 Kimpton hotels open. It's their premier boutique brand, and there's 32 in the opening. And they are really, really excited, Intercontinental and Kimpton, about opening this product. So just in conclusion and to wrap up, why choose Kimpton Kawana Bay? It's freehold ownership and condominium. You'll get your own title deed, be registered in the Land and Deeds Registry Department. Very safe, secure. It's your asset. Own it. It's not a piece of paper. No one can take it away from you. Because it's title deed, it means that there's eligibility that when you want to sell, if you hold it for a 5-year period, that the secondary purchaser will also qualify for citizenship. So that's a very compelling and nice potential exit if you want. I think a large number of investors will hold the product forever or for as long as they want, given that there will probably be a rental return of around 3 or 4%, and they just will want to hold on to it. It's internationally branded hotel, Kimpton Hotels and Restaurants. There's a benchmark that Kimpton have in order to give investors peace of mind that they have to uphold to benchmark against 6 other hotels in the Caribbean. It's a great opportunity for income through a very transparent and rental management program. Just to be clear that when someone signs a purchase and sales agreement and invests into the development, they also sign the rental management contract and agreement at the same time. All units are going into the program. There is a limited amount of use for each investor, but essentially it's a hassle-free product that we created, so that'll be run by operated by Kimpton, and everyone goes into the program. That's based on a percentage of revenue, which I think is always important. It's not a percentage of profit, so no manipulation there. And the operator, Kimpton, the developer, us, and the investor, you or your clients, so we all have our incentives aligned. We're all going to make our return out of the operations of the hotel. So, I think that is very compelling. The project is under construction. You've seen the videos. We're 70% sold. We're due for handover of those first 3 buildings that you saw in September this year. The second 2 buildings will be handed over next year, ready for the hotel to be opened, and that's where rental returns, etc., will start. So we're very real and live. There's no annual fees for investors. All fees are deducted before from the top of the rental management program. We're fully compliant with the Grenadian government when it comes to and have a CBI approved status, and we've created a very what we think compelling and hassle-free ownership and investment opportunity. And that leaves me just to say thank you very much to you all for your attention. It's great to speak to a full audience. We've got a booth next door, happy to field all and any questions, and thank you again to IREX for the opportunity.